Alright, in our final example of the quick overview of the animation layers, I'm going to show you how we can utilize it for sort of adding noise or shake onto an existing animation. So I've just done this very, very simple animation of a cube here, sort of indicating something looking around. So here we just kind of have a bunch of keys on multiple axes. This could be something like a camera or the head of an individual or someone's body. Anything that just kind of shows here that we've got kind of a lot of keys going on. And if we wanted to introduce something like a shiver or some sort of camera noise or something onto it, we certainly don't want to have to go through all of our animation keys here and set keys on almost every single frame, and then start, you know, moving these around and wiggling them, and that's quite a lot of work, and then we're sort of stuck with this really messy animation here that we can't really edit cleanly and easily. So what I would usually do in a situation like this, if I wanted to add shake, is I would select my object, go into the animation tab here, the anim tab under the layers, and then I'm going to just call it the shake. Alright, so then what I'll do is I'll select the channels in which I'd like to add shake to. Alright, and then I'm just going to add a whole bunch of keys here under the layer. Alright, so now we're just going to kind of mess this up. Just something really quick and easy, giving us a little bit of a shake. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is just cycle that before and after, and then probably add a bit of offset. Maybe we can scale some of them out so they're not in alignment with one another. Alright, so that's just something messy, right? And you can see now that we've got this kind of vibration layer on top. Now, if I feel like, hey, I think that's too much, or I want to tone it down a little bit, under the weight here, I'll just maybe tone it to half. Then I'll take a look. And I can also key this. So let's say that at the beginning, maybe at the beginning we want more shake. So I set key there. Set a key there. And then maybe through here we feel like we're going to just turn the shake off. So we have this weight value here. Let's start easing that in and out. So now we'll have a bunch of shake at the beginning, and then it will ease out to be gone at the end. Alright, and we can change that at any point. If we want to go into the shake, we want to really magnify this. The one thing you can't do with the weight here really is exaggerate it over one, unless you go into your graph editor here, and then you can amp that up. But often I'll just adjust the curves if I'm going to make it bigger, because you can always make it smaller. And then maybe we really want this to be much more stretched out, like maybe the frequency is just too high. So we can always do something like that. So we've got kind of a slower, bigger shake going on now. And then maybe we want the shake to be, now we want it off at the beginning. So you can adjust however much you want the value to be shaking. Maybe we don't want it to go away at the end now, we want it to sort of start stable and then it sees something scary and starts shaking, or maybe an earthquake starts, or whatever it happens to be. So you can see now that we've got under the shake layer, if I look at my keys, we've got kind of some messy keys going on because we've got a shaking type of animation, but it didn't take me very long to create it. It doesn't take me very long to edit it, and I can also adjust how much it's on or off at different points. Now I'm going to merge these layers together to show you how much it helps, because if you have to have these layers together for the whole time, it ends up making very messy base animation for you. And if, say, you got halfway through this and then your supervisor was like, oh hey, actually I don't want him to look down here at all, I want him to look up and in a different direction. Now you're going to have these like super messy keys that are really hard to edit, whereas here I could just sort of say, oh okay, no problem. That was really quick and easy to make that adjustment, and I've still got my shake going on, so everything worked out really easily with that. Now if I were to merge these together, say that you had originally not used animation layers and you just keyed a whole bunch of shake onto your animation, and I'll merge them. Now you can see all this kind of wiggling going on throughout the entire length of the animation, and now if suddenly your supervisor wanted this look over here to be over to the other direction, you've got this huge mess to clean up. With all of these keys, you're going to kind of have maybe lose some of the shake, or you need to like remove whole chunks of animation, because there's going to have to be keys on almost every frame or close to every frame when you're doing high frequency shake. So you've got this whole mess to sort out now, changing all these things, deleting all this stuff, losing potentially some of your animation that you've spent a lot of time on. It just turns into this real big mess. So I would highly advise you, if you're going to be doing something like this, to utilize the animation layers, because you can see we've still got, obviously when you merge it, you've still got the same animation going on here. But now it's just much harder to edit. Everything's going to be slower, and it's going to really hold up your workflow and your ability to iterate. So using animation layers, it can be a great help for things like this, to avoid having to make really major changes to your animation in a destructive way. So hopefully these 3 simple demos helped you kind of have a better understanding of how we can use animation layers, and I'd really encourage you to try using these yourself. Start off simple with something like these examples that we've done here, and then you can move into more complex animations.